guys, Drew here from Guitar Brothers Company, along with
Christian from the Guitar Brothers Company.
Yep, first time you've seen him in a while, but he's back and better than ever. So today we're here for you with a video on the 5-way pickup selector switch that you find on any Stratocaster and Stratocaster copy guitar.
Yep, pretty much. So yeah, just your Strat.
Yep. I mean, you have a weird telly, where like.
I guess if you had 3 pickups on your telly, maybe you'd have a 5-way switch.
No, you have 2 pickups on your telly. It's just positions 2 and 4 don't do anything.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a
hipster
good
version.
idea. We're about to invent that right now.
So I know when I first started with the electric guitar, I wasn't really sure what to do with this thing. Like, I knew if you put it down here, it got pointy, and if you put it up here, it got soft. But that was about it. So I figured for anyone who's new to the electric guitar, or the Stratocaster specifically, it would be helpful to have a video on what each position does. So that's what we're going to show you today.
Yeah, just that and bringing different artist perspectives on the 5-way switch, like who uses what position. For example, like John Mayer uses the neck a lot.
Too.
You know, a lot of blues artists go neck and middle, and more country artists are going to be down at the bridge, doing more twangy stuff. And things like that. So
yeah. So position 1, this is made legendary by Jimi Hendrix first, right?
Yes.
And Stevie Ray Vaughan. John Mayer likes it too, but you know, because they're all in that same vein of the blues picking guitar. But Jimi Hendrix made it famous. It has a nice round tone, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
It's the fattest sound you can get off a Stratocaster.
It is, especially like frequency-wise. It's very warm.
Mm-hmm. It sounds real nice and mellow. So if you want atmospheric stuff, it's probably good for that, right? Mm-hmm. If you want funkier stuff, it's because if you hit it hard, it can pop, but it's not going to be sharp. Right?
Yeah, especially with like a Fender standard setup, there's a lot more bass and warm end with the way that the pickups are set up and with the nature of the pickup position itself.
Yeah.
There's a lot more bass in there, whereas, you know, as you get further towards the bridge, there's more treble and more kind of biting sounds.
Yeah, it's just closer to the middle. Like if you pick this guitar string right here, you can hear it almost sounds like a harp. So if you have a pickup that's closer to the middle, it's gonna, you know, sound softer than if you pick way down here.
Right.
Anything else to say on the neck pickup?
No, that's about it for the neck.
Position 2, this is, I would call it John Mayer's favorite position.
Yeah, I would say so.
You know, it's the
yeah, you got Slowness in a Burning Room there. I think Gravity's there too, or at least parts of it.
It's pretty iconic. It adds a little bit more of the poppy sound from the middle pickup, while at the same time retaining the nice softness, you know?
Yeah, he's not quite blues. He was more blues and pop.
Yeah.
But he definitely liked that second position up there.
It's a nice compromise between the radio pop sound and your classic blues sound, I would say. Anything else on the second position? Any worship insights?
No, the second position isn't used a whole lot in worship, and really even the neck position isn't used a whole lot in worship. The only time they get there is like if you're playing prayer, you might be using just the neck position, first position to just maybe kind of finger through some chords, but other than that, it's not used a whole lot.
We could remedy that.
Yes, that's true.
All right, the middle position. This is where you hear, like your Shawn Mendes riffs, a lot of Ed Sheeran stuff. You know, just where they're like arpeggiating chords through their like verses. You know.
Yeah, it's kind of the go-to place for when you don't want to be too intrusive and you don't want to be too light with what you're playing. That's a good place for you to go, and in pop music especially.
Mm-hmm. It just sounds, you know, not sharp on your ears, but not too soft either, because the guitar isn't loud.
Right.
Yeah. So it cuts through your mix, but not too much.
Yes.
That's about it. The middle position isn't too common.
No.
in any other genres.
Nope.
Fourth position now.
I like this position. This is probably my favorite position. It's very spanky. You hear it like a lot of times in pop music or in I would say probably mostly in pop music. It's very spanky. It's used a lot in rhythm parts when they're playing higher up on the neck, and they're not necessarily playing leads there, but they're playing a lot of rhythm and triads up there in the choruses of songs a lot.
Yeah, I'd say also if you're playing like classic rock stuff, and because you don't want it to sound too much like a country song,
Right.
but you want to have that bite of the bridge, and since you're not playing on a Les Paul, you're playing on a Strat. I'd say that's probably your best place to hang out, is because you can play, you know, like if you're playing Sweet Home Alabama or whatever, you don't want it to sound too twangy, but you want it to sound nice and thick, and that's going to be a good sound is your fourth position.
You're right. It's got plenty of attack for like a heavier part of the song without having a lot of twanginess that single coils tend to have when you get closer to the bridge.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably why like Shawn Mendes his guitar player uses a lot. That would be a good example of pop.
Yeah.
And if you want to hear that, go to his latest album with like Lost in Japan and stuff like that, kind of that funky pop vibe, and you'll hear it a lot.
It would be easy to get lost in Japan.
Yeah,
because all the signs are in Japanese.
Exactly. Well, and you can never see where you're going because there's millions of people everywhere.
Yeah. At least it's not like Shanghai where
we
you
don't
can't
know
see through the
anything
air.
about Japan. I
No.
don't know if you can't tell.
Yeah, no. We have boomerangs on the wall, but that's the closest we got.
Yep. Australia.
Australia. It's in the Pacific Ocean, you know.
Yeah, close enough.
It's on the other side of the world. We're thoroughly American.
Yes.
All right, and last position. Talking
Bridge.
about thoroughly American.
Yes.
This is where you get your country music.
Absolutely.
And worship tones.
Yes, and worship tones. This
Big
is
time
like
worship tones.
this is the place for worship guitar, on a Strat especially, but with a Tele too, and a lot of humbucker guitars that they use there. They kind of go all over the map with as far as like sounds go, but they're pretty much all on the bridge.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like Lion and the Lamb, you know, is on the bridge. Pretty much everything you hear in the chorus, even of a slower song or a more intimate worship song, those lines are pretty much always on the bridge. Hillsong, Bethel, Elevation, they all have very fat guitar tones that they like on the bridge. Even on a Strat or on a Tele, they have the bass cranked up pretty high, and they're pretty much just on the bridge, you know, for most of the song, and especially the chorus there.
Mm-hmm. And on the bridge, you have to have the bass cranked up pretty high, you know.
Right.
Like the bass has to be bumped and the treble has to be cut a little bit, because otherwise it just hurts your ears. Sometimes.
It sounds very thin.
It's very sharp, very piercing. Yeah, thin.
Mm-hmm.
What's the word I'm thinking of? Not whiny, but like frail, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. It's thin, and it has a very piercing high end that isn't very appealing
Shrill.
to the ear.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yes.
Shrill.
If you don't use it correctly, if you don't EQ it correctly, it can get pretty bad pretty quickly.
Yeah. So if you playing a set too, where you have multiple songs on different pickup positions, then make sure you're adjusting your EQ in between, because you can have something that sounds really nice in position two, then you go down to your bridge and you're just like
Right. A lot of guys will have an EQ pedal, or they'll be using their tone knobs to kind of roll off some of that high end on the bridge pickup, so that it's not too harsh when they get to a chorus.
Although an important thing to note is that on most Strats, or on most non-American made Strats, I think, your bridge pickup actually won't have a tone control, so you'll have to cut it other ways.
Right, so you kind of have to EQ around your bridge pickup, which kind of sucks tone-wise.
Yeah.
So maybe you have an EQ pedal to
boost
some of those frequencies, so that when you switch to a neck pickup, it doesn't sound awkward and very bassy and lacking low end.
Yeah.
So be careful of that when you're playing a whole set or a whole song, and you're not able to kind of adjust your amp in between.
Yeah. Another thing you can do is you can cut the treble on your amp, so you don't have the sharpness on your bridge pickup, but then with your neck and your middle tone knobs, you can keep them at like 5 or 6.
Right.
Then when you switch to those pickups, you can roll them up, so you can kind of compensate for the treble cut on your amp.
Right.
That's the thing some people do.
Yes.
All right. Now that is speaking specifically of the bridge single coil, but sometimes we don't have a bridge single coil. There are cases, which we're about to show you, of an HSS setup, which is where you have a humbucker here in your bridge, like this,
Yes.
and then 2 single coils.
So,
You've seen this guitar some on the channel.
Yes.
We use it when we want a humbucker tone, because it's our only humbucker guitar.
Yeah. We have lots of Strats. This is Drew's. This is a Squire Bullet Strat, so it's not a very expensive guitar.
No,
but
bought
it
it off him
has,
for $100.
yeah, there you go. This is an HSS, so some people like it. The downside is that, especially on the cheaper ones, some more expensive and like custom shop guitars that are built with an HSS pickup setup will allow you to split, so you can get more of a single coil Strat style pickup tone from your bridge, and you can also get that humbucker sound from your bridge. But this just sounds a little fatter. It has a little bit more bass, and it's a little bit less ringy and twangy as Strat pickups normally are, because that's kind of what they're notorious for, as well as tellies. And we didn't talk a whole lot about country with this bridge pickup. Why don't we talk about country artists?
Let's talk about country. Well, pretty much every country artist will use a telly and a Les Paul in their songs, right? And they kind of contrast with each other.
Right.
So you're hearing the Les Paul tones when you hear that really fat wow kind of thing, where it's less. When you're hearing the telly, you'll hear like twang twang twang.
It's driven, but it doesn't cut through a whole lot.
Yeah. So a lot of country artists will use the bridge pickup that is a humbucker, just so you can you can tell it's the bridge because it's got that bite to it, but at the same time it's not as piercing.
Right.
It cuts through. It's nice, and it's got a little bit of the country twang, but it's fat, so it fills up your song.
It's harsh, but it's more warm. It's warmer than like a normal Strat style or telly style bridge pickup would be, because it and it's usually set up differently so that it's a little bit more towards the low strings, so you get a little bit more low end with that.
Yeah.
And it's both are used in country music. Oftentimes, if they have like two guitar players like Jason Aldean, then one guy's going to be playing Les Paul, hollow body guitars,
335.
anything like that with humbuckers, and then you're gonna have another guy that's gonna be playing like a Strat and telly guitar.
Some people can go jazz master, but they're hipsters.
Yeah, there you go. With like P90s, anything that's single coil and humbucker, you often see on the stage together, so that they can play parts that kind of complement each other frequency wise.
Yeah. So you can fill up that higher end with the single coils, and you can get the thicker low end with the humbuckers.
Right.
Yeah, so it's always good when you're arranging multiple guitar parts to not have both guitars in the same area. If you guys enjoyed that, feel free to subscribe for more guitar content. Give us a thumbs up. We always appreciate that. Let us know what you thought of Christian, if you should stay around.
Yeah.
I think you should.
I'm going to be making some acoustic guitar videos. Drew's more proficient in the lead guitar, and I've been doing more with rhythm guitar and things of that sort, so we'll see what kind of comes at us.
He's lying. He can shred line in the line, I've heard it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so we're going to be coming at you soon with more guitar videos. He'll be sticking around.
Yep, absolutely. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Thanks for watching.
Alright, bye.